Please welcome to the stage Tim Shieff.
Thank you, man. That was a little bit rowdy for a vegan audience. That was a compilation made a couple of years ago of all the commercial work, which I've sort of... Oh, thank you, guys. Yeah. Let me lower this to my height. Yeah, so that was a compilation from all the commercial work, which I've sort of drifted away from in the last few years. When you become a vegan, your sort of ethics change around the work you're involved in, and you know what, it becomes a lot more rewarding. So since then I started a ethical clothing company called Ethics. But I'm not here to talk to you about that today. What I wanted to talk about is when I was younger, I remember being 4 years old and coming home from Sunday school, and my mum cooked some lamb chop, and I asked her, "Mum, is this the same lamb as the lamb in the field?" And she's told me, "Yes, Tim, but it's okay. That's how humans live. We're top of the food chain, and it's all right." And so, you know, my mother raised me, loved me. I trusted it, and you know, that was it. It was okay to eat lamb and other animals. I remember being about 6 or 7, and my older sister was about 2.5 years older than me. She had 2 pet gerbils, one called Jemima, one called Basil. We went on holiday and left it with our cousin and came back, and Basil was dead because they didn't know how to treat the gerbil. And my parents offered me, do I want any pets, rabbits, something little that I can learn to look after. And I always didn't want one because I didn't want to be responsible for it dying because I couldn't treat it or look after it right. And that's some weird, deeper understanding. But I did have a goldfish that I let sit in the pond because I didn't actually have to do anything to look after it. It was just, it looked after itself. And then a few years later, I was probably about 12. I was in Jersey with my family, went on a fishing trip with my dad. And on the way out on the boat, we were in Florida. And on the way out on the boat, we were catching mackerel off the back of the boat to use as bait. And so we caught some mackerel, and then the skipper on the boat and a few of the other people there that more into fishing were hitting the mackerel on the head and killing them and then cutting them open right in front of me as just a little boy. And it's okay because fish, they don't have memory and they don't really feel the way we feel, and it's just using it as bait so we can have some fun catching fish. And I remember fishing in the River Trent in Derby, and I always liked that my dad, we never kept the fish, we always put them back, and I thought that was a good thing. And then as I got into my 20s, there's a few other stories with spiders and stuff in there, and ants with magnifying glasses that I think we've all tried. Stuff that I was just a child exploring, disconnected from other beings and other people's feelings, other beings' feelings. But as I got older, there's been several times, it's been like a late night, walking home down the alleyway to my house, it's rained, it's wet on the floor, and I've trodden a snail. I felt that crunch under my foot. I think we've all felt that. And I've just gone, oh man, I was looking at my phone. If only I was just focused and present, maybe that wouldn't have had to tread on that snail. What if that snail's only half dead and he's now suffering? Should I stamp on him to like put him out his misery? Like what should I do here? And I just freeze up and I just move on. I go, I hope he's died. I hope he's, rest in peace, that snail. Move on. I've always had this innate connection and problem with mistreating another being that I was consciously aware of. And so I'd done that a couple of times, and then I'd go inside and I'd get out some cheese and I'd get out some ham and I'd make a ham sandwich, and I'd feel bad about the snail that I killed while I'm eating a pig. And it took until I was about 26 that I actually made the connection. I have no right to feel bad for that snail. That was an innocent human mistake. But when I'm eating ham, I'm making a conscious choice to pay someone, a farmer that I've never met, I don't know how his mind is, how ethical it is or anything, to kill an animal that I've never met, that can feel pain and can suffer. Therefore, at that point, as a human, I have a choice to make. You shouldn't feel bad for things that are accidents and are mistakes, but when you have a conscious choice, you should address those issues and those things in life. And that's what led me towards veganism, was to address, I'm happy, I'm healthy. Like I don't need anything. And when you get to that stage in life when you're comfortable and you're not just scrambling around just to stay alive, and you're not, saving pennies just to buy KFC for your 3 children, when you are in a good place in life, I think it's your responsibility to look at decisions that we make on a day-to-day basis and how they can be more conscious and can be more mindful and how they can benefit others in simple ways. And that's when I discovered that veganism is the simplest, easiest decision we can make on a day-to-day basis that can have the biggest impact on the world, on the animals, and on our health. And it takes a month maximum, 21 days to change a habit of trying it, to understand what foods you do like, of making mistakes, of sometimes having fish when you go back to your family and they've made fish for you and you don't want to feel bad. It's okay to do that. It's a transition. But inevitably, knowing that your end goal is to be vegan, and as the world becomes more vegan, it has become a lot easier in the last 2 or 3 years with the vegan milk options, and apparently Tesco are going to do some more vegan options for us, and M&S is sort of terrible actually, but but there are a lot more vegan options in supermarkets, and then restaurants. You've got All Bar One, what they're doing here today, we're very grateful for that, and Wagamama's, and I once made a video years ago in Nando's, how to be vegan in Nando's. And I've had a few people come up to me that said, I went vegan because once I realized you could be vegan in Nando's, and I can't have any excuses. Like that's, and that's it. It's become a lot easier now. And I think it's all our responsibility. If you are happy and healthy and you're not scrambling just to get by, then to start to make these more mindful choices. And the rewards are all there. And the greatest thing I've found beyond my health and everything that you'll hear other people talk about, and clearer mind and sleeping better and better recovery, it's like connecting to that inner child that I shut up because society had told me, no, that's okay. Don't listen to that voice, Tim, because my parents that love me taught me otherwise. And that's actually going, no, I was right in the first place. My inner child knew that. And once you start to make choices listening to that inner child, you start to see the world as a more miraculous place, and you start to have more respect and appreciation for everything. And that's something that you just can't make someone feel that until they make that choice and until it actually happens to you. And so if you're thinking about Veganuary, I think it's such an important movement that it's so helpful to do things together as a group, as a collective. That group energy. I know when I listen to the radio and a song comes on that I like, it's so much better than if I just play it on my iPod, because other people are hearing it at the same time. And I think there's something with Veganuary that works as well. When you know other people are doing it, you feel committed to it. And yeah, so it's a very powerful thing. And so us at Ethics, we actually developed Rawgust for people that have been vegan for a while. There's a next stage beyond that. But just for now, it's December. We're eating a lot of delicious vegan cooked food. Veganuary's coming up. I see the numbers double every year, and I'm really proud of what they're doing here. And I'm really flattered to be asked to be an ambassador, and I hope to be one for many years to come and see it go into the millions and the millions that we know is coming. So thank you guys for coming today. Enjoy the food. Thank you.